beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback. No, I'm just concentrating on not losing the rod over the side. And his eyes. He's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel and to the workshop. Because the temperature's dropped and we're into winter, clocks haven't changed yet, so officially it's autumn, not winter, but the temperature has dropped. It's time for the first light of the log burner, but we're prepping kit for tomorrow and a trip down to Chesil Beach. So what we're going to cover today, I think we'll look at prepping the bait, share the rigs that I'm going to use, most of which are already on the channel, but we'll look at them anyway, or at least what we're going to use, the strategy behind the idea, and we'll look at prepping the rods, the shelter, the tripod, the tackle box, the reels, and getting everything ready and making sure I don't do that, and I'm really bad for this, get there and realise I've forgotten something. So by prepping it all the night before, going to work in the morning, going straight from work in the afternoon, hopefully we're going to have a decent beach fishing session. But preparation is the key. So the first thing to do is to light the log burner, warm this place up a little bit, and then we'll get the bait out the freezer. So let's get to it. This little log burner kicks out loads of heat, and all I'm burning is pallet wood. So we'll get that going, get a few of the little kindling type pieces on, careful not to smother it too much, suffocate it down, plenty of air in there, and in no time at all she'll be away. So while the log burner's in the background crackling away, we come to the chest of delights. What have we got in here? There's all sorts in here. Right. Let's have a look-see. What do we need? Bulk squid, 30-pound cases, 24-pound cases. We've got all fish-based chum with oil and bran. We have got all fish-based chum that's been through the garden shredder, and it's just pure fish, no extra oil, nothing separate. And you may ask, well, why are they different? Well, those are for surface bagging from the boat, and that's for bagging and going on the anchor from the boat. So that's the two variations of there. I've got some Icy Tech cool blocks. I've got 4 of those that match to the Icy Tech cooler that I've got. And what have we got in here? So we have got 2 mixed bags of fish baits. And inside of these, let's give one of these a little tear, I have got vacuum packs that I've caught myself this season. That is scad. And as you can see, I've nipped the tails off because the tails are very bony and they tend to pierce the bag. Scad is a very, very oily, bloody fish. It's very good for bull huss and things like that. So we've got that inside those. And possibly the most important, I'm going to have a look at what frozen lug I've got. So I've got some frozen black lug to use up. I just want to check to see what sort of size condition it's in. That needs, obviously it needs defrosting. So there's 1 wrap. They come in 2s and double wraps. So that's 3 wraps. I think with the other bait that I've got there, I think 3 wraps for me is going to be enough. So I think for me, for this trip, I'm going to go 3 mackerel, 3 wraps and 7 small cuttle. I mean, that's quite a lot of bait, to be honest. And I won't be bringing any of that back because this is stuff that's from a freezer clear out, and that's what I'm going to use. So might seem a little bit excessive for some. In fact, I'm even starting to think that myself. I'll take 4 cuttle and return 1 back. So 4 cuttle, 3 wraps, and I will take 3 mackerel. I'm undecided, as you can see. So that's my bait parcel for tomorrow. Yeah, a little bit of hodgepodge, I suppose. Those are sealed, those need defrosting. It's all going to take a while, but so that it can slowly defrost overnight, and I'm prepping it now so it's an easy, quick getaway tomorrow. I'm going to use this, and it's made by Tronics Pro. It is designed to keep things cold, but it won't keep things cold forever, so if anything, these are going to gently start to defrost. And all I've done is I've packed that in as a layer, and to stop these defrosting too quick, but I still need them to defrost. I don't want to get there and have rock hard bait that's unusable. Always keep a couple of bales, a couple of reams of newspaper in the workshop. I'll just go 2 layers, fold it in on itself and roll it up, and that can go front and centre. Tuck everything else in, zip her up, and I'm not going to make the mistake of leaving my bait behind. So when I pack the tackle box, this is going in tonight, it will be good, defrosted, come lunchtime tomorrow. It's all about timing your bait, I suppose. It's one of the most difficult things. Because I'm going to be at work in the morning, I won't have time to do this tomorrow. Put the newspaper away. Okay, so that's the baiting aspect of it done. I'll park that there in clear view so I don't forget it. Next thing, my seat box. And we'll have that on there as well. This is possibly the most important thing to get right. I don't want to forget anything, it's critical. So we'll go through this and I'll show you what I'm going to take with me for the trip tomorrow. So in true Blue Peter style, here's one that I haven't done earlier. So I've been using these, again, Tronics. I know it's not a promotional video, I'm not trying to push this stuff, it's just what I'm using at the moment. So I am using, and for clarity, the Tronics box, the Tronics bait thing, and it's because it all fits together. It all fits together and it all packs away amazingly well. So I'm using these weight boxes, or bags, weight bags I think I call them, they call them. So I will be taking with me tomorrow, in the interest of covering all aspects but not taking too much, I will take 4 6-ounce weights, a pyramid, and I am looking for another one that I seem to have, oh yeah, there we go, and a lead that will roll. And that's if I'm really scratching, really struggling, I'll use a seek and I'll use the tide and I'll fish an area with a constantly moving bait. But I don't really want to use that straight out because that can lead to snags. If there's a chance of snags, that will find it. In that same bag that's got the weights, I've got my selection of elastic. My primary elastic, the one that I have owned and have got, watching Billy's Fishing. If anyone hasn't watched that, that's worth a watch. It's got some really good stuff on there. Latex elastic, kinder to the environment. And when I checked, only one of those is latex, the rest are nylon. So unfortunately, they're not going with me. I'm going to follow the lead, and you know, I'm keen for the environmental stuff as well. I think it's a very good idea. Set the example. I'm going to use latex elastic. So that's the weight bag. Weight bag sorted. That goes in the box and is one of the base layers. Inside this one, this is like my gubbins. Without tipping them all out, that's all my bits and pieces. So I have bait scissors, bait knife, something for tying hooks, something for cutting line. I've lost my really nice Solingen ones. I need to buy another set. And then all manner of different things for unhooking, disgorging. So I have a small T-bar, a crochet hook, forceps and a Gemini disgorger. They are all for unhooking. They work better for different fish. Different versions, different things work better for others. And then bait preparation. So we have 3 spoons, excuse me, a baiting needle sized for the cuttlefish that I'm using. Also good for mackerel baits. The Yuki baiting needles, perfect for smaller bait presentation. And a standard worm baiting needle. And I can't remember what brand that one is. It might well be a Gemini, I think. So that all goes in there. Everything's in there. Everything's good. And that's my gubbins box. And just to save space, I'm using up, or taking with me, I've got one shock leader on. I've got 2 reels with 1 shock leader on each. Don't know why. Don't know why I didn't use one up and end up with 2 on one. But I've got 2 shock leaders just in case. They're going to go in there. And they will go in the centre. The third box, or bag, weight bag, has got my scales. I'm murdered for this, aren't I? So I wouldn't have known unless I checked. Another shock leader. I quite possibly don't need those other ones, do I? Alright, let's take those out. Shows it's not, you know, this isn't staged, this isn't pre-programmed. I'm not trying to con anyone with, you know, like a fabricated story. So I've taken those out because I've got them in there. So I've got scales, shock leader, my main head torch, and this is a Fenix HM65R, cracking head torch, that one. And I've got a spare backup battery one that has new batteries in it. It's not rechargeable, the other one. It's my emergencies only one. And that forms the base layer of the box. Let's see if we can show that. But they sit in the bottom of the box perfectly. That's why I'm using them. They're designed to fit in there. And then that bait pack sits perfectly on top. See that as the next layer? So we're talking layers, like Shrek and the donkey and his onions. Right, so then we get on to the really important stuff not to forget. A pair of reels. The reels I'm using are Pen Fathom 2 casting specials. Got eye candy in it. All lined and shock leadered up, so they are using at the moment as mainline Asso Ultra 16 £. That's what's going, that's what's on those. And the shock leader you've already seen, they are 18 to 70 £, shock leaders, because I'm using 6 ounce weights. So those are the reels that are prepped and good to go. I'm not carrying any spare reels tomorrow because they've just been stripped, cleaned, re-oiled, but I haven't lined them up yet. I've balanced them, static balance, but they've not been oiled up yet. So just to show, these are in preparation in the background. So they've had all the bearings removed, they've been stripped, cleaned. They're absolutely, I love them, they're stunning reels. Really nice and user friendly to strip as well. The only thing I might do is modify those mag adjusting knobs. I may take those off and put the flats on. But yeah, other than that, that's the other pair that I carry sometimes as spares. But we are taking just those 2. So we'll leave those there in front for now. I've also got the Rapala weighing sling. If anyone is ever targeting smooth hounds or the smaller taupe, these are perfect. You put the nose up underneath there, covers their eyes, they tend to calm right down. But the Rapala weighing sling is a really nice bit of kit, that. And it folds down nice and flat. And quite handily, we just fold that in like that. That is the right size for the box. So that goes in the box. Now I am guilty of this. The last fishing trip I went to go on, I left that on the side in the kitchen. Drove an hour to my fishing mark, unpacked my kit, didn't have any rigs. That was not a fun trip out. And it was that far to come back. I didn't come back and get them and go again. I had to sack off the whole trip. I was devastated. So in that one A5 pouch, I carry some glow stops, glow bait stops, glow beads. They just hook on first. Some spare hooks, some spare clips. That is it for terminal tackle. And then pre-made traces for where I'm going. So we have got up and overs, pulleys, 2 hook clipped, variations of the 2 hook clipped because there's been codling caught at Chesil, up and overs, pulleys and pulleys. So I have spares, but I'm not taking any terminal tackle, loose items. I've got no intention of using anything other than what so I'm not taking earth rigs. I'm not all the Witchwood fish, a 3 hook clipped, any variation other than that. That is all of the tackle that I'm taking. Some people might think that's a mistake, and I hope it isn't. So that is the box, all my components, all my bait, my weighing arrangements, my reels, and a hat, because it's going to be cold, but I won't need it until I get there. And just thinking, what else? Right, one of the most important things, most important, where have I put it? Where are you? Here we go. How many people have done this one before? Forgot the hand towel. You've got to take a hand towel, clean your hands, haven't you? Wipe your hands. Wet hands are cold hands, especially when the winter starts to kick in. There we go. That to me, with the exception, the only difference now that's going to go in there that other people might not carry, or might, is my camera gear. So I will take my filming equipment and it will go in there. A small flask of hot drink, a few munchies and bites to eat, and all my warm clothing I'll wear en route or strap to the top of the box. If it's not particularly cold when I go, I'll strap the clothing with bungee straps on top of the box, there, with bungee straps over it, if the walk's going to be hot and sweaty and I'm going to be struggling with all my kit on. But that is my box, packed, pretty much ready to go. Looking around just for that last securing, reassuring check. Log burner's going great guns now, can feel the heat from that. Yeah, so there we go. That's the box done. Next up, rods, tripod and rod bag. So, 1 6-foot Icon, leader Icon tripod. We have ready there. We have 2 cleaned and preserved and then put back in their bags dry, any fish anywhere, 6 and baits, multiplier version, Mark 2s, and one of my latest little purchases that I've been waiting on for a long time, and it has been a long time. It was out of stock for a while, but I'm glad I waited. I really wanted the mustard quiver, but the VMO rod bag, that is an absolute stunner. Absolute stunner. And just because I'm filming and I need to protect my camera equipment, I'm going to take the Ian Gould's Igloo, which is another stunning bit of kit. And that all needs to now pack down into that quiver. I'm a creature of habit, so I have a way of packing my quiver that I tend to do each and every time I do it. And I try to keep it consistently the same for no other reason than once you've found the way that suits you best, stick to it and don't change it. So I tend to put the thin end of the beach shelter into my quiver first. And even though this will unzip, I then like to have my rods, and I'm trying to do this for a camera view. Now I put them in butt first. You said butt. Butt first. But one of my buddies, he puts them in tip first, and I'm not sure. So no one's ever told me the right or wrong way. This is my assumption. I put my rods into my rod bag butt first. Do people put them in tip first? I don't know. He certainly does. As you can see, that is a beautiful fit now. Not too tight, not too baggy. You could put another rod in there. You could put the Bigaloo in there and it still fits. But it isn't just baggy and hanging out all over the place. It's a cracking. It's slightly padded. I just think they've put some thought into that. It's very much like, dare I say it, the Century one. So whose came out first? VMOs or Century? I don't know. But quilted, it is just really good. It does the job perfectly. And then obviously on the outside pocket, not wanting to destroy anything, is my tripod. And it's hard to see, but what I've actually done there is I've kept part of it outside the pocket, the rest of it inside the pocket. And these straps are already set to fit. So they're a tight clip, but I know they're good because that's exactly how it's been set before. And then I've actually, and just double checking, yeah, I've tied them off where they were. So they were set, the clips were set at the right setting, and then I've tied them off. So the last strap down the bottom, probably out of camera sight now, camera shot. Just make sure that's clipped in. So there's 3 straps working their way down. And that is my rod bag. So we have got 1 rod bag, tripod, 2 rods, beach shelter, seat tackle box, 2 multipliers, the 3 weight bags, all with the kit in each of them individually. My bait prepped. It's going to be a cold evening tonight, and it's inside an insulated bait prep. So I want that to defrost, but I don't want it to defrost too quick. I haven't got time to do it tomorrow, so that's why I've done it now. My seat tackle box with the breakaway backrest. And I think, apart from clothing, I think we're good. The intention tomorrow is to wear a hoodie, a smock, and a set of chest waders. I think I'm going chest waders. I haven't 100% decided yet. I'm going to get them out and prep them anyway. So I've got the vast chest waders. I'm trying to think, because it's not actually, the forecast is supposed to be quite reasonable tomorrow night. Thinking. I'm going to go Gore-Tex trousers. Gore-Tex trousers, boots, smock. And that's the clothing done. So I'm just having a quick scan around the workshop, just trying to think if there's anything left. Oh, there's always something in there. Bucket. I do like to take a bucket. This is quite funny. This isn't intentional. It's a Tronics bucket. I know how this looks and I apologise. It's a Tronics bucket. Well, I never. Right. The reason why I like it is because when I get there, I transfer my bait to there. I can do bait prep and I can use the lid as a chopping board, or if I carry a chopping board, but I'll fill that with water, and it's just a good sized bucket. So with that on your back, that in your hand, that over your shoulder, you're golden, you're good to go. So I think absolutely 110% that is me done. I am all done. What I will do though tomorrow morning at work, whilst I'm excited, ready to go, is I'll be thinking this through in my mind. Did I pack that? Did I do that? Have I got this? Have I got that? Because that's just the natural thing to do. But that's me. That's me good to go. So, the video following on from this will be the actual session. So we've prepped all this kit. We've got all this ready. It's a follow-on from the beach fishing series, and tomorrow I'll be filming on the beautiful Chesil beach, and we'll share and film it, eh? We'll get it filmed and I'll tag it onto this, so it'll be a full prep, full fish. Robert's your father's brother. So that's it. So all that leaves for me to say is take care, tight lines, happy fishing. Roll on day 2. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome to the channel and to Chesil Beach. I've got 2 rods in the water and I'm most definitely fishing. It's low water, we're on the flood, early stages of the flood. And where are we? Well, we've done the trudge. You can see miles behind. We've just literally nipped past the Dragon's Teeth. So we parked at Abbotsbury, come through from the car park, walked at the back of the shingle, got to the Teeth, up and over, a little bit more, and that's where we're at. And when I say we, my buddy Chris Bucknill, who's been on one of the films before, he was one of the competition winners for the skate trip. So if you recognise Chris from the skate trip, we'll try and see if we can get Chris on camera later with some fish. Yeah, what are we fishing for? Wow, I've really edged my bets. I bought everything. Got baby cuttle, mackerel, what else I got? Black lug, some squid, and that's enough. But I bought truckloads of it. So I've got plenty of bait, well I hope I've got plenty of bait. And I'm fishing a variety of rigs, so I've got the choice of today the 5-foot pulley, the up and over, and the 2-hook clipped. So between the 3, I'm cycling them around. So when I'm baiting up my spare rig, the spare rig at the moment that I'm running is the 2-hook clipped. I've just put some little mackerel strips on that because with daylight, and I don't want to burn through my bait too quick. I'm saving for dusk and darkness. Sunset and onwards, I think we're going to fish hard for the last 3 to 4 hours of the session, and we're just enjoying this weather. It is absolutely stunning. The sea's flattened right off. We're post storm blow up, pre-storm blow up, so there's another one coming in, and this is the calm in between. I'm hoping that there's food stirred up on the bottom and that, you know, that there's some fish about. I had a huge slack line. I was jibber jabbering with Chris. Looked back and my line was led on the beach. I was like, ooh, over. And my bait presentation, it was absolutely mullered. So I don't think it was crabs. Something had a go at it, but I hadn't hooked up. And if I'm squinting, I have got my sunglasses, I have got a hat. It's blazing. Short t-shirts. It's nearly the middle of October. It's absolutely glorious. I'll give you a look round. Forgot the drone. I always forget something. I'd rather forget the drone than some of my fishing kit. So maybe it was better that it was the drone. If I'm going to forget something, it's better that I forget the drone rather than the fishing kit. But yeah, so that's what we're up to. We'll have a look at some rigs in a bit. We'll have a look at some dodgy casting. Hopefully we'll show some fish. I'm going to fish into dark, so it's going to be head torches and lights later on. Chris is going to catch monsters. We'll try and put them on camera. Yeah, happy days. See you in a bit. Well, I'll not lie, it has been very quiet, but just had a little nibble on the right hand rod. Just seeing if it comes to anything. Give it a chance. Definitely a fish bite. It wasn't crab. Yeah, as soon as you turn the camera on, look, the camera goes on, the bites stop. It is very slow, very slow. No bites yet. Something's been having a go at this one. Mind you, it was out at distance, so It's a long ways out. But yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll fight to it, he says, as it decides it wants to go. Hey! Hey! What have we got here? Ooh! That's a surprise. Didn't expect that. It's a ting. That's the one thing I wasn't expecting. There we go. So, we have one lively Chesil ting. A whiting. I'll get the stone off your head. Oh, he's lively. He's proper lively. Look at the gnashers in there. He's got some proper chompers in there. He's lively. I'm going to get him back. I could eat you, but I'm not going to. So what has been a very uneventful session so far. We fished a couple of hours. We haven't been burning through our baits. Chris has had a doggy. I've had a ting. My first ting of 22. A whiting. Not a pouting, a whiting. Yeah. On black lug tip with squid. Clearly meant for something else. Right. The other rod, because I've gone through some mackerel just using little mackerel baits, I put a mackerel head out quite close because it's just getting to dusk, and sometimes things, you know, like come along the shoreline picking up odds and ends. So I put a mackerel head out as a shot to nothing for an hour, and then when it's dark I'll swap back onto what I was doing. That was a nice bite. It's nice to see a good rattle like that. Gets the blood pumping, and it's getting cold, so I'm going to go and get my hat because my Swede's cold. Right, bait up and get back to it. So I missed the bite on that one. Sun's gone down, or just in the process of sunset. Head torch is on, and I just looked away, and when I looked back my line was going straight out, and then it wasn't. It was going 45 degrees down the beach. So I have just caught myself a scad. Look at the eye on that. Look how reflective that is. Amazing. Doodaloo. He might be bait. And we were talking about this earlier, and I said, there's been no doggies this year. There's a doggy. So he's a pretty doggy. And he's going back, but I'm afraid little Mr. Scad, he's bait. Yeah, mackerel head out there, shot to nothing, is doing nothing. So I might have that in and put 2 worm baits out, because black lug is doing the business. A whiting, a ting, a scad, and a doggy. It's a mixed species evening, I think. Right, get the rod out, get my baits rigged, get fishing. No big screaming bite, just a little nibble. But it's running down tide as well, so it might have just picked up and run with it. Yeah, I think there's something there. Yeah, there's something there. That's picked it up, run down tide. Yeah, there's definitely something there. A few head bangs. Oh. Always gets you wondering what it might be. Doesn't feel like a ray. I'm going to have to get closer to the edge because there's quite a lot of undertow here at the moment. Not onto shock leader yet. Still a fair ways out. Hope it's something silver. Can't quite see it yet. It's still quite deep. What have we got? And we've got a codling. Nice. I thought that was a bit head thumpy. A Chesil cod. Stunner. So, only a small one. Beautiful colours on him. Absolutely stunning. Hope the light does him justice because it's hard to show. Don't want to go too close to the camera. There's his little paddle. There's the business end. What a stunning fish. I love them. There's been so many of these around this year. Ooh, calm down, calm down, calm down. Been so many of these around this year. There have been loads of them. Can I get him back in the water? Let him go. Maybe come back a bit bigger. Chesil codling. Happy days. We have had so far a ting, a doggy, a scad and a codling. So I think that ticks off the species. Well, I'm half expecting a strap obviously. We'll get it back out. Both fish, in fact all 4 fish now have come to 2 hook clipped rigs with single black lug tipped with squid. All 4 fish have come from that and at distance. So get myself sorted out and I'll get back out. We were talking earlier on and I made the fatal mistake. I said, oh, there's not been that many doggies about. Doggy on the beach. Look at it. Oh, hello. Right, get this critter back. I had to say it, didn't I? I had to say it. Not many doggies about. Well, yeah, there's loads of doggies about now, isn't there? They've all come out to play. Right, gonna go and get Kermit back in the water. Same rig, 2 hook clipped, size 1/0 hooks, single black lug, tipped with a tiny piece of squid, launched as far as I can throw it. Yeah, getting back in. So the bites are coming pretty much fast and furious. Hard to film. Chesil Beach at night. It's always difficult. It is always difficult, and it is proper cold, proper chilly tonight. Hands are cold, but it's fishing. It's fishing well. Plenty of bites. Try and winkle something else out. The codling's nice. It's always nice to get codling. Scad's unusual for me. Doggies, I had to say it. And the ting, first ting of winter, and a decent sized ting at that. Right, baited up and back out. It's been pretty chaotic so far, so I'm all a bit behind. Not behind with the rent, just behind. And these are old black lug, and they're not the best to be honest, because they've been in and out the freezer and they're just not the best, but they were good quality bait to start with. So I'm using the Yuki, and it's just 2 prongs. You can make one of these yourself. You can use welding rods or any kind of steel sprung wire or anything like that, and I'm not wasting any of it, even the bit that everyone usually throws away, because I am short on this now. I've got 1 more wrap after this, so all I've done is put it on the Yuki using some very fine latex after watching Billy Fishin's video recently. Top guy, love his videos, all good stuff. So some latex bait elastic, and all I've done is lightly elastic and do the loopy tie. That is it. That's the size of the bait. The thumb for comparison, little chubby thumb. slide it off and put it on like a worm bait. So that is, oh no, have I got one more in there? Yes, got one more in the wrap. Always nice when there's one more in the wrap. Right, so again, doesn't have to be pretty this, just get it on the Yuki. Good little things these. Load it up on the Yuki. I am saying that right, aren't I? Yuki, yeah, Y-U-K-I. And a little bit of elastic just to get it in place. A little bit of elastic to form a shape. And tie it off. And when my next 2-hook rig comes in, I will just put that on like a little worm bait, but it will hold together in the cast, because that's where you're going to smash it up. When you're launching it out, it hits the water, it just gets blown apart because it's old and soft. But that elastic will just bind it and hold it together. Collecting up all my rubbish, I'm running a little rubbish bag down the bottom. All my bait, all my elastic, everything that gets stripped off goes in a little bag, which is one of my own vacuum sealing bags that my bait came in. So repurposing, don't have to bring a bag, you use what you got. And I've got one more wrap, but that's the stuff that seems to be doing the trick. So, see what we can catch next. Another codling would be nice, a little bit bigger, something different, something exciting. I don't know. I think it's a bit late for smooth hounds now. I haven't seen a strap yet. That's got to be on the cards. And I've got plenty of bait. I've got some mackerel. I've got some little cuttle. Yeah, I've got a little cuttle left. I might put a big cuttle, or a little cuttle, but as a whole bait, and throw it out as a shot to nothing towards the end of the session. But yeah, it's all good stuff. I'm enjoying it. Chris is catching. He's had a few doggies, tings. I don't know if he's had a codling yet. He might have done. He's a little bit too far away to be able to see. But yeah, it's all good stuff. Really enjoying it. Enjoying the fact that it's getting cold. I know it sounds a bit not right, but I'm going to put my coat on in a minute, I think. I might put my smock on. Another Chesil codling to add to the mix. They're all of pretty much the same sort of stamp. And funnily enough, that's exactly the same size as what that ting was earlier. There's a lot of them around. There is a lot of them about this year. Hopefully, the winter season, we'll see some of the bigger ones about. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful fish. I don't know what the difference is this year, why there's so many of them around. Is it, I don't know, is it something to do with the trawlers or the fish quotas or bycatch, nets, I don't know, something. But yeah, codling, loads of them. There we go. The muster on that. Oh, it gets slapped in the face. Right, let's get him back. Oh, hang on, mate. It's good fun tonight, but it's getting cold. It is getting cold. It has got absolutely freezing. And then this little critter came along. I don't know what to say really. The amount of codling that are about this year, this one's tiny. He's the smallest of the lot. He's going straight back. I'm going to try and get him to swim away. They don't swim away that well when they're this small. Easy puppy, easy, easy. I'm going to go put it back in because he's going to go. Look at that. Stunner. Right, let's get back. He did actually go. They don't usually go when they're that small. If you don't get them straight back in or unhook them at the water's edge, when they're the smaller ones, they're quite fragile. The bigger ones are a bit more robust, but then we like eating those. Yeah, so what have we done so far? All on the 2-hook clip down rig, all at range, distance, 6 ounce weights, single black lug using the Yuki, little bit of elastic, tip with elastic, on with a bit of elastic, tip with a little bit of cuttlefish. I don't think that matters, it's just a stopper to stop the bait being pulled away. And yeah, Rods are fishing well, bite indication's good. It's a beautiful evening on the beach. Almost a full moon. In fact, I think that is actually, it's hard to tell. Sometimes a little sliver, but it looks like a full moon. And there's not a cloud in the sky, so it's freezing. And I didn't bring my big coat. And I'm going to go home soon. And I want a McDonald's on the way home. Other burger restaurants are available. I want a Mackie D on the way home. Going to go and have a chat with Chris. Because I'm almost out of bait. Black lug, nearly all gone. Yeah. Been a cracking night so far. Loved it. But I think I've got a lot of packing up to do. Got a long way to walk. And it's a school night tonight. I've got work in the morning. And I've got an hour and a 40-minute drive in the sporty van. Right, so take care, tight lines, happy fishing. I hope to spend time with you again sometime soon. From me, from here, for now, it's goodbye. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Oh, he's lively. He's proper lively.